Hey everybody, it's Party Elite, bringing you some early access content for Total War Warhammer 2. I've spent some time putting together a few videos that will release today, and plenty more releasing through the weekend and upcoming days, so make sure to check in as I'll have something new for you every day. This video focuses on some of the really impressive mounts in the game, not purely from a statistical perspective, since that's likely to change by launch, but also for the interesting mechanics they currently bring, and just how awesome the art and animations are. If there's something specific you'd like to see, you can use the timestamps below to help you navigate through the video. So based off all of that, here are my 5 favorite unique mounts in Total War Warhammer 2. Keep in mind, this is not all the new mounts, just my favorites. First up, we've got the Rat Ogre mount, the Bonebreaker. Available to Skaven Warlords, these are rat ogres specially engineered by Clan Moulder by being doused in rat growth hormones for months on end, thousands of slaves dying so it can be grown to this gigantic size. Attach a platform with bolts or straps, and you've got an excellent mount for your warlord. Though stats are likely to change a little, you can see the significant increases it gives to health, speed, and weapon strength, along with a slight boost to charge bonus, 322 points of armor-piercing damage, all at the cost of 20 points of armor and some bronze shields. You also get Siege Attacker, Causes Fear, and Frenzy, and let's not forget to ogle at the art. This thing looks absolutely gorgeous and has some great animations, including some epic charges and great use of its warpstone drill hands. Next up, let's tone it down from the Bonebreaker Rat Ogre and turn to Mazdamundi's giant Stegodon, Zlaaq. The largest Stegodon out there, Mazdamundi and Zlaaq have a relationship spanning nearly 500 years, so feel free to make your mounting jokes, at least these Stegodons is loyal. Adding a whopping 1933 points of health, 95 points of armor, 60 points of weapon strength, and 56 points of charge bonus, Zlaaq also increases speed by 16, and since he's carrying 2 skinks on the platform as well, you get added missile damage that causes poison damage and can fire while moving. The attacks get a 300 point armor piercing damage and a bonus of 15 versus infantry, though they're no longer magical. Zlaaq also helps Mazdamundi cause fear and terror, and gives him the Siege Attacker trait, but sacrifices the ability to hide, the Strider trait, and an immunity to psychology, though technically with Causes Fear and Causes Terror, the duo are still immune to psychology. Keep in mind though, the melee defense stat remains low, so keep an eye out for anti-large units, especially large anti-large units. Next up, we're going to look at the Carnosaur. Grymloq is a special one, of course, available only to kroq-gar, and he gets an extra bit of health, slightly better melee attack and charge bonuses, and quite a bit more to weapon strength, and of course, Grymloq doesn't rampage. Adding fear, terror, and frenzy is not a bad combination of traits, and every Carnosaur does this. We've seen them in action before, and quite a bit, so I'm not going to ramble on for too long, but I will allow this montage of fight animations to take place, because they've done a fantastic job, I have to say. Next up, the Screaming Bell. This has always been among my favorite looking units from the tabletop, and I'm very happy to see it alive and kicking in-game. Available only to the Grey Seers, the Screaming Bell adds a great deal of health, armor, and leadership with a touch more speed, but at the cost of weapon strength, though it does add armor piercing and anti-infantry bonuses. Adding fear and 25% magic resistance, it also allows for the use of Scorch, a breath spell, as a mount ability, while also unlocking Unholy Clamor to boost leadership and vigor for all Skaven units on the field for 14 seconds, and Wall of Unholy Sound, increasing leadership and melee attack ever so slightly in a radius around the bell. These are all great support stats, and it essentially puts your lord on a chariot. It's also one of my favorite idle animations in the game. Just look at how much fun this Grey Seer is having. And finally, potentially showing my love for Skaven with this top 5 list, to be honest, we've got the Plague Furnace. Available only to the Plague Priest, the Plague Furnace essentially puts your Plague Priest on a chariot, adding anti-infantry damage alongside much higher health, armor, and leadership stats, and a slightly improved charge bonus as well. Adding 25% magic resistance is helpful, as is the bound ability to cast Pestilent Breath, the Breath spell. My favorite effect is that of Billowing Death. As a constant direct damage aura, this ability makes the Plague Furnace a Mortis Engine equivalent, getting hurt across to the enemy as long as leadership has not been broken. So there you have it, folks, just a little sneak peek at some of the unique mounts that are headed our way. Of course, there are plenty more, but I really wanted to put together this list to succinctly show off some of the most interesting things I could find during early access. As always, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Total War early access content, battles, let's plays, and more. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, cheers.